Hello, 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 people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Wow. So, tonight we got two major situations that are unfolding right now, and both of them have real consequences for everyday people. First, we have the impeachment, what it actually means, who's pushing it, and why it's happening right now. Just both people, Hegseth and Trump, are being impeached, or they're writing the articles to impeach. This is what's happening right now. Then again, we have the Red Sea. Why talk of it being shut down isn't just a foreign issue, but something that could hit our prices, our shipping, and your day to day life. So let's get into it. Wow. See, the Red Sea is just not a body of water. It's going to be a major problem if that gets shut down.
Iran has now threatened to block key global trade routes, including the Red Sea, if the United States continues its naval blockade. This comes just days after U.S. Iran talks failed, pushing tensions dangerously higher. According to Iran's military, any attempt to disrupt its oil shipments or commercial vessels will be met with decisive action, and the warning is serious. Iran says it could shut down not just the Red Sea, but also the Persian Gulf and the Sea of Oman. These are some of the world's most critical shipping lanes. Any disruption here could impact global oil supply and international trade. The United States imposed a naval blockade on Iranian ports earlier this week after negotiations held in Pakistan failed to produce any breakthrough. Talks aimed at ending the ongoing conflict collapsed without agreement. In response, Iran's military leadership has now issued a direct warning. If the U.S. creates insecurity for Iranian tankers, it could be seen as a step toward breaking the ceasefire. And
See, the Red Sea, is not just a block of water, right? It's the most critical maritime highway. When you block that path, specifically, it's called the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. You not just stopping the ships, you're choking about 12% of the global trade. That includes the oil and products. We're talking about thousands of ships carrying everything from the fuel that heats homes to the electronics in our pockets from China and all of that. Because of this blockade, ships are being forced to take a 6,000-mile detour around Africa if they close that strait. If they close that strait, because of this blockade, ships are being forced to go around the bottom tip of Africa. It's the bottom tip of Africa. And that adds weeks to the travel time, drains millions of dollars in extra fuel. This is not about a shipping problem. It's about global supply chain collapsing. If they go through with their threat to close, it's called the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. So we had to be real clear how we got here, though. Iran's aggressive response didn't happen overnight. It's directly tied to the president's decision to initiate a blockade, directly tied to what the president said. We're seeing a classic case of action and reaction where a tough policy, it triggers a counter move that will set the whole region back. We're gonna set the whole thing on fire. Now we're stuck in a dangerous position, a dangerous standoff where nobody can back down. Who's gonna back down? Is the president gonna back down? Have we known our president to back down on any of this stuff? Is the president known to back down? It's his pride that's on the line now. It's really, really about his pride being on the line. So I don't think he's gonna back down. So, and we know Iran is not gonna back down. So without losing face. So we risk a wider war at this moment, specifically if they close that Bab el-Mandab Strait. So the ripple effects in our wallet, energy prices are going to go up, price hikes and shipping costs, gas is going to go up, shelves are going to get empty, just-in-time delivery, that's dead. You can forget that. The most frustrating part about this is it could have been avoided, though. All of this could have been avoided. This wasn't a natural disaster or an unavoidable conflict that this president put on us. This is a crisis born out of poor decision-making and a failure to be diplomatic. We chose a path of maximum friction. We chose the path of jumping in the pot thinking because we're the bigger people, we would be able to bully these people into backing down. And these people said, we ain't backing down. That's not how it's going to go. So the bottom line at the end of the day, the people sitting in the air-conditioned offices making these calls are not the ones that are going to feel the heat, are not the ones that are going to feel the pressure or at the pump or buying food or X, Y, and Z. It's the regular people like you and me, the families trying to make ends meet, and the seniors on a fixed income really going to get screwed. I'm going to the grocery store buying 15, 20 items, and I'm paying $150. These people on fixed incomes are going to be the people that pay the price. We're looking at self-inflicted wounds by our government, by the global economy. And unfortunately, it's the bank account that's going to start bleeding. We got to demand something better. That strait, the Red Sea, that is right now on the other side of Saudi Arabia. It's on the other side. One side is Iran, and they're controlling the Strait of Hormuz, and the next waterway is on the other side, and that's the Red Sea. So if they close all of that, we really, really in trouble because they control 12 to 15% of the goods that come, the oil that comes across, and the goods that come to all of us. So they control 15%. The Strait of Hormuz controls 20%. We already feeling the gas prices now. Wait till they decide they're going to close the rest of it.
Iran says it will not allow its exports or imports to be stopped. But here's where the situation gets more complex. Despite the blockade, shipping data suggests Iranian vessels are still moving. Several ships have already crossed the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most sensitive maritime choke points. Iranian sources also claim commercial vessels have continued sailing to global destinations over the past 24 hours. So what does this mean? A potential standoff at sea. On one side, a U.S. naval blockade. On the other, Iran refusing to back down. And in the middle, some of the busiest and most crucial trade routes in the world. If tensions escalate further, this could move beyond a regional conflict and begin to impact global markets, energy supplies, and maritime security. The question now is, will diplomacy return, or are we heading toward a larger confrontation at sea?
We don't know that. We don't know what we're heading towards. We are at a point where the business as usual approach is not working. It's becoming dangerous to deal with this war. Right now, we're serious. We got an urgent push to get out of this fight with the Iranians. I don't see any sense. Some Black America says we aren't in a bad position. Yes, we are. We're in the worst position. We're in the worst position. What do you mean? Do you be watching the news or something, Black America? I don't understand what you think can happen with these people. I don't understand why you think that cutting off 40% or 30% of our oil is a good thing and the gas prices are rising. Why do you think the gas prices are rising? If they decided they're going to cut off more waterways, what do you mean we're in a good position? We ain't in no good position. There's nothing they can do. There's nothing that the Americans can do except lose more Americans. In order to stop Iran from doing what they're going to do, we would have to put boots on the ground. In order to get there, we're going to lose face. You know how we're going to lose face? And it's just really clear and simple. The president and everybody else keeps hollering about we can't let them have nuclear weapons. How are we going to stop them from getting nuclear weapons when what they have to build the nuclear weapons is 300 miles inland? In Iran, they have buried 300 miles inland, which means you have to go by foot through valley, through mountains, through sharp plain. You have to go through on foot. You're not going to get over their land without soldiers dying. So how do you propose we're going to stop them from getting nuclear weapons when they already have uranium 300 miles in? And we have to go by foot in order to get it. We're not in a position of strength here. We're in the worst position. Because if we weren't, the president wouldn't be talking about blocking the Strait of Hormuz. That's all they're going to do is block the Red Sea. What do you mean? Why do you think they didn't make a deal on Saturday? Because the United States, J.D. Vance went there to tell them they can't have nuclear weapons. J.D. Vance went there to tell them that they can't block the Strait of Hormuz. And Iran told them to go fuck off. That's why there is no deal. What do you mean? Iran has United States over a barrel. What are you talking about? We are not coming from any kind of position of strength. The people who give the president advice about going to war, he ignored them. He ignored them. Let me say it again. He ignored them when they told him that it is a war that you probably could not win. What do you mean? Your force and your might means nothing. Because Iran has been there for 5,000 years. You're not going to get them to move from their position. They have been waiting for this conflict. They have been waiting for this fight and this conflict from America. They have been waiting for someone to convince the Americans to come over and bomb them. They knew Benjamin Netanyahu would convince our goofy president to do just that. Israel tried to get Obama to go over there. Obama said, hell no, we not finna mess nothing up because we can't win. Biden, they tried to convince Biden to go over there, and Biden said, hell no, we not going over there. We can't win. They convinced Trump against our experts to go over there. They convinced him against our experts to go over there, who told him there was no way to get out of the war. Now we're in the middle of it. The two demands that they want, two demands. The United States wants two demands, and they can't have them. Iran was not in charge of the Strait of Hormuz until the president did what he did. Now, Iran is in charge of the Strait of Hormuz. Who do you think is winning this war? Come on, you got to get into the game. Y'all got to start looking at this shit. Don't pay attention to what the fuck that president is telling you. That president is trying to. Haven't y'all noticed that every time the president and anybody that works for the president is always telling you the good part? They don't never tell you the bad part. They don't never tell you what the real truth is. They tell you what they want to spin you on. Don't you listen to everything is good. Everything is good. We got to cease fire. They're going to do what we say. No. You need to start listening to the other news. Okay? Obama handled it the way it was supposed to be handled. Donald Trump is the one who tore up the deal. If Donald Trump would not have torn up the deal that Obama made, we wouldn't be in this problem. We wouldn't be in this. Benjamin Netanyahu convinced that goofy to tear up the deal, and now we in the middle of it. Do you be watching other channels besides Fox News and Newsmax? Do you be listening to the other channels? No, I'm not fearful of anything. I'm not fearful of anything. I just know that that they're lying, that they're not telling the truth, that Iran is telling you. You need to look at the Legos. I encourage y'all to go over to TikTok and look at the Iranian Legos. The Iranian Legos is telling us more about the story than our own government is telling us the truth about the story. Okay? You need to go over to TikTok and look at those Legos. The Iranian Lego, look it up, type it in, Iran Legos. That tells the story, and they've been dropping a video every day telling us what's going on over in Iran. So maybe you need to go look at those, because the president is not in control of what's going on. Iran is in control of what's going on. Okay? It's not a matter of what it's not called propaganda, Black America. When 20 people are telling you this is how it is, and only 2 people are telling you how it is, you need to be listening to the 20 people that are telling you something else. You can't just listen to the 2 people that's telling you that the president's in control. You need to listen to those 20 to see what's going on too. You can't just listen to 2. You got to listen to the 20. And the 20 of these people, 20 of these news outlets, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, X, all of them are telling you that the president cannot stop Iran. If you haven't heard that before now, Black America, I don't know what you're listening to, because you're not listening to the right news. If you believe the president is still in control of this, you're not listening to the right news. Okay? You're just not. Hold on. So let's get to the next story. This is the story we got going on right now.
Democrats move to intensify pressure, introducing fresh articles of impeachment while simultaneously calling for his removal under the 25th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Hello, my name is Ashutosh Srivastav, and I bring you the best from home and abroad. Now, moving on, this push comes amid escalating tensions over Trump's handling of the Iran conflict, with critics accusing him of dangerous rhetoric and unconstitutional military actions. Leading the charge is John Lawson, who has filed 13 articles of impeachment against the president. These articles allege high crimes and misdemeanors, including abuse of war powers, unlawful military actions, and conduct that could endanger American lives. Larson's impeachment proposal claims that Trump bypassed Congress to engage in military operations, a move critics argue violates the constitutional requirement that only Congress can declare war.
Right. So we are at a point where they're starting to file those impeachment, because President and Hegseth have been accused of treating the Constitution like a suggestion instead of our law of the land. There's reports out because of the military decisions that are being made in the dark, completely bypassing Congress's constitutional role in war powers. When you ignore the people's representatives to launch strikes or escalate conflicts, you are not just being decisive, you're being reckless. That's why these articles of impeachment are being drawn up against Hegseth and the president. This is not about strategy. Democratic strategy don't mean nothing. It's about putting our troops in the crosshair of unnecessary risks and turning the Department of Defense into a political playground or a religious playground. You cannot do what Pete Hegseth is doing. The military is supposed to be the bedrock of our security, not a tool for a personal agenda or a culture war against Iran. So let's be clear about what's actually on the line here. It's the stability of our entire country. If we allow leaders to act unchecked like they have been acting unchecked, the rule of law is a joke. We can't have a system where the executive branch is the president. We cannot have a system where the executive branch decides it's above the law whenever it's convenient for them. When the guardrails come off, and the guardrails for this president has been off from the beginning. When the guardrails come off, everybody, regardless of the party, is at risk. Our country is at risk. These articles of impeachment are being filed against Hegseth and the president. Oh, no doubt, he's going to be impeached come November. This president will be impeached. This kind of cowboy diplomacy and domestic politicization, I hate that word, of the armed forces is a precedent that could haunt our military for generations. We cannot allow what is going on to continue. It's time to have accountability for the things that this president and this Secretary of Defense is doing. That's why these articles of impeachment are being filed.
Charges also extend to broader accusations, including misuse of federal authority and aggressive domestic enforcement policies. At the same time, a parallel effort is targeting Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Democratic lawmaker Yasamin Ansari has introduced impeachment articles against him, accusing him of violating his oath of office and endangering U.S. personnel through reckless military decisions. But perhaps the most dramatic development is the growing call to invoke the 25th Amendment, a constitutional mechanism that allows the vice president and cabinet to remove a sitting president deemed unfit to serve. Nearly 100 Democratic lawmakers have urged J.D. Vance and Trump's cabinet to take this unprecedented step. Prominent figures, including Nancy Pelosi, have argued.
I say the articles of impeachment will be passed in November, because the November election, the Democrats are going to take the House. In November, the Democrats are going to take the House. So he's going to be impeached. All full stop. He's going to be impeached. Okay. If the Democrats take the House, he's going to be impeached. See, this is not time for Congress to sit on its hands or wait. How many times are we going to be dragged through the gutter? How many times is the Constitution going to be dragged through the gutter by this president before somebody puts a stop to his behavior? How many times are we going to be dragged through the gutter? Do you know that they just cut Medicaid and Medicare for the veterans and the seniors and the children? Do you know they just cut all of that to afford that $1 billion or $1 trillion price tag on the war? Do you know they just cut healthcare benefits for seniors and veterans so they could get that $1 trillion worth of tax cuts? And they're going to put $4 trillion on the top of the debt that we have. Do you know they just passed a law? They just passed a bill in the House today to do that. No, see, Black America, I know you don't. I can tell that you don't watch anything but you don't listen to anything but right-wing stuff. If you've been listening to any kind of content, you would know how badly down the Republicans are. Okay. You would know how badly down they're losing across the country. You would know that. Okay. If you listen to anything beyond whatever you listen to, if you listen to anything beyond that, you would know how badly the Republicans are losing now. Okay. But if you don't know, that tells me you stay inside your bubble and you don't look at the polls. You just need to go and look at 6 or 7 different polls. Just type in polls, election polls, and you'll see election results, election predictions. Type in election predictions and you'll get all of the information you need. Stop listening to right-wing TV. Right-wing TV is trying to coddle y'all. You don't need to be coddled now. We're done coddling you guys. You need to type in election predictions for November 2026 and get the right results. Stop. We're not going to coddle you guys anymore. This president is lawless. Okay? That he's lawless. See, it's not that, like I said, it's not time for Congress to sit on their hands. We cannot wait 2 or 3 years for this president to run our country into the ground. We need the leaders to step up. Since the Republicans won't step up, the Democrats have to step up. And the Democrats are filing these articles of impeachment and filing for the 25th Amendment. It's not that easy to get the 25th Amendment through. You would need 2/3 of Congress and you would need 2/3 of the states in order to impeach this president. But it's getting damn close because this president continues to do things against the American people. Okay. Oversight is mandatory. Congress has a job to do. And that's being to check on the executive branch, and they haven't been doing their job. The Republicans are not doing mandatory oversight. They're letting this president do what he wants. Now it's time for the adults to step into the room. Restoring our standards for the American people. Okay. We have to get back to the place where accountability is not optional. Apparently, accountability. Do you know that this president told everybody in the Oval Office that if they stepped 50 feet within the Oval Office, he's willing to give them a pardon ahead of time? Do you know that why would that president offer all of these people a pardon before they're even charged with a crime? Because he knows they're committing crimes in the Oval Office. That's why he offered all of them pardons before they're even charged. Okay? You have to get out of your bubble, Black America, because if you haven't heard about that, then you really are only in your. It's not a matter of being unhappy. At least 80% of the people in the United States, I'd say about 75-80% of us are unhappy with the war. Okay? We have to start protecting the foundation. At the end of the day, this is not about Democrat or Republican or who you voted for. It's about whether or not we still care about how the Constitution is written. That's why the Supreme Court looked at Donald Trump's lawyer when he was in there arguing the 14th Amendment, getting rid of the 14th Amendment. That's why the Supreme Court was looking at Donald Trump's lawyer like he was goofy. What the hell are you talking about? Why are you in here talking about getting rid of birthright citizenship? Why are you in here arguing that bullshit when it's in the Constitution? The 14th Amendment is in the Constitution. They're not about to override the 14th Amendment. So stop it. Okay? So about 75% of the people do not condone this war. Now we're going to get even more involved in this war because we're already losing the war. If we don't restore accountability now, we are essentially saying the rules don't matter as long as your side is the one that's breaking them. No. The Democrats have to stand up. It's not the majority is unhappy with this whole fucking. Would you please explain it to a wilderness? Is it wilderness? Please explain it to Black America, because he don't seem to understand that the bulk of the United States is unhappy with the behavior of this president. Okay? The bulk of America is unhappy. You need to get out of the bubble where you listen to news at Black America, because you can't be listening to other news if you haven't heard. Okay? Don't nobody give a fuck about the illegal immigrants right now. We are in more trouble than a little. Nobody gives a fuck about those little petty fights. Okay? Your president is fighting with the Pope. Your president is fighting with the Pope. Black America. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Your president is fighting with the Pope. Okay. No, this is not something that people are going to get over. They're not going to get over this. They're fighting. He's fighting with the Pope. Something is wrong. He's fighting with the Pope, telling MAGA people to go fly, told Marjorie Taylor Greene to go fly, up all night ranting and raving, up all night in the White House posting on Truth Social. That's wild. Yeah, they do. Black. Now I know you don't know. Now I know you don't know. Because now you're talking about people don't care about the Pope. People care about the Pope and people are upset. Have you been on Truth Social, Black America? Have you been on X? Do you go on X and listen to the ex MAGA people? Do you go on TikTok and listen to the people talk about the president has lost his damn mind? Do you go on any of those things and listen to any of that? I go on all those social media things and listen to those people rant and rave. Ex-MAGA people, regular people who didn't support the president. I don't need to hear them. Okay. I don't need to hear them goofy people. Okay. Black America.
Good evening, Miss HQ.
Hey. What's happening?
Not much. So no, I don't go on X. I don't even have X or Twitter. I don't have any I don't have any of those what they call that, social media things.
Yeah.
I don't yeah, I don't have
You need to go
I don't have
on there.
Instagram.
You
I don't
need
have
to go
Instagram. Huh?
You need to go on there because these are ex-MAGA people. Joe Rogan, what is Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, all of them are saying no, you fighting with the Pope. You doing X, Y, and Z.
HQ. We are Americans. Once again, I'll say it again. We are Americans who are mostly Catholic people in our country. HQ.
I don't know who I don't know who is a I couldn't even tell you what the big amount of Catholics are.
So then I'll tell you. Catholic people are Hispanic and Latino. That's not the people in our country, HQ.
No,
How many?
I'm pretty sure the bulk of us Catholics bulk of Catholics in the United States are white. I'm pretty sure of that.
No. Catholicism is a Hispanic and a Latino, mainly on this side. We're Christians in this country, HQ.
Yeah,
this is a Christian majority. Yeah, because you're talking about Trump fighting with the Pope. Nobody cares about what I'm saying crazy? Is no.
Are you crazy? Have you seen the backlash of him fighting with the Pope? What do you mean? They are
backlash. Okay, so cool.
They call him Antichrist.
Where is the backlash from the people in our country, HQ?
These are people in our country. What do you mean? These ain't foreign people. These are white Christians, black Christians. These are Mexican Christians. These are mostly white Christians coming out and saying this is blasphemy. This is crazy. Why are you fighting with the Pope? Oh hell yeah! You got to get out more of that, Black America. They upset.
Listen once again. I consume a lot.
You need to go on X. That's where you will see MAGA people on X saying,
why would I look at MAGA people? I don't like those people. I don't follow. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, HQ. I do not follow and have never followed any white person. I don't consume any content with white people on. That's number one. Okay. I am a black American. I am a Democrat. Okay. What you don't see is the
Right.
tides where you feel, and I understand how you feel about things because you're a liberal, right? But most of us Democrats, we're not liberals. That's why Bernie Sanders couldn't when they was running for president, Bernie
Oh, oh,
Sanders
they
and Buttigieg. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I get all that. I'm saying to you, no, you're making the argument, or it seems like you're making the argument that President Trump is doing amazingly well. And I'm
That's
telling
not what I
you,
said. I have never said that.
so why
Come, come on now. Don't
what
say that.
no, what you said up here, is you said we were uh what you said was everybody, you said something about looking at the races. Do you know how bad the Dems are looking right now? The Dems are not looking like
Yes,
anything. The Dems
yes.
are not
If
looking
you
at like
if
anything.
if you look at the Senate race, because to me that's really what matters. The House, it kind of goes back and forth because for the House, those people they could vote either way, right? But the
Mhm.
Senate to me is the most important thing. They're going to lose the Senate again. Even as
So
bad as
who's gonna
Trump
lose the
is
Senate
doing,
again?
the Democrats, as bad as Trump is doing, the Democrats are going to lose the Senate again. And
Why?
it's
Why?
and it's because of the not Democrats,
Why?
but because
Because of
of
what?
the liberalism. But
No,
because of the
no,
liberalism.
no. See, that's why I know
When
you ain't
when
been
when
watching. I know you
I,
ain't
I
been
look
watching none of the races. I know you
I
ain't been watching
I
none of the
I
races.
actually have. I actually have. And I looked at polls all last week. And
So
it's
why
and
is it
each,
that we
each
went?
one
Why
of them,
is it that then? Why is it that Republicans are losing every race that they done had?
they haven't lost every race, HQ. They're supposed to lose in Democratic areas. They're
No,
supposed to lose
no,
in Democratic areas.
they're losing in Republican areas too.
Okay, which two Republican areas did they lose? They haven't. I
They have
promise
what?
you. That
They have what? What? Wait
it,
a minute,
it-
hold
it's
on.
just like with this Tyler Rico and Jasmine Crockett, right? Tyler Rico is a
Taylor
whack job
Rico is Taylor Rico is leading in Texas.
by 1 point. HQ.
One
I
point.
think it was 1.5 points 2 days ago when I looked at it. Yeah, like
Podcast.
I said, you don't think I'm paying attention. I I
Yeah,
told you
but
my
that's
little
not. But that's
uh,
not the only. But that's not the only. That's not the only race. That's not the only.
HQ. HQ. Did I tell you that my little brother was a Democratic strategist, and every Democrat in the state of Nevada, my little brother's company is down there the one that got them elected. That what I'm trying to tell you is HQ. I understand politics, and I know what's going on with politics. It's
Yeah,
not.
but
It's not like I haven't been around it.
you keep telling me that you keep telling me that they're not poised to take the House, or they're not poised to take the Senate. They're poised to take some of these things. They might be long shot. No, they might have one or two long shot things, but there ain't
Did,
a
did,
lot of
did,
long
did
shots.
you did you hear what you just said? They're long shots, HQ. If
No,
they're
no, I
long
mean
shots,
long shot. I meant long shots as in they were long shots. They used to be long shots. I listen to all these people who do predictions. I do all of these people who do predictions.
you know
Every,
what? It's just
every
like
week
that
we
woman.
go.
It it's just like that woman, that one white woman, and she do predictions, and
Right.
she was crying, and I watched her predictions, like revisited, and
Mhm.
she was talking about Kamala Harris didn't win one swing state, HQ, not one. She lost all seven swing states,
Yeah, but I can't.
and,
I can't. But we understand why that happened. Well, I understand why that happened, but that's not what's
You
going to happen. But that's not
you
what's going to happen
you
now.
I
Trump
promise
is
you,
Trump
you
is
think
proving
you
himself to
understand.
be the. Yes, I do. I understand exactly. It was a
You
matter of
yeah, because of
misogyny. It
because
was a matter of
because of
it was
misogyny,
no, I'm not
because
done.
of her
I'm not done.
color.
Of her
Okay,
color,
go ahead.
misogyny,
Mhm.
the trans thing, and something else. Three, four things. That's not
Yes. So
what's
why?
happening right
So
now.
why?
So we're
So
not.
why
So
can't you
that's
accept what
not
I'm saying?
relevant. So that because it's
So
not
why?
relevant right now. Because we don't
Why
have those
don't?
on the
Why
ballot.
don't you think? No, listen to me.
Because we
Why
don't have
don't you think
those
it's
on the
valid?
ballot now. We are not worried
It,
about misogyny. We are not worried about race. We're not worried about the trans issue. We're not worried about any of those issues in the midterm. That's why it's irrelevant right now.
so
Because
you don't think? So you
go ahead.
don't think when somebody runs and they say we're gonna do make sure that our LGBTQ plus
Because that's not
community.
because that's not on the ballot right now.
No, no, no.
Nobody's promoting any of that. Why do you think? Why do you think the Hispanics have turned completely away from Donald Trump? Why do you think the independents have turned completely away from Trump? Because
Well, because
his
he's a bad
whole
president.
his whole agenda is repugnant to people. That's why
HQ.
the turning point. You know what the turning point was? The turning
What's that?
point when they came out of their ass and said Alex Preddy was a terrorist and Renee Good was a terrorist. That turned the tide for everybody because everybody knew that
But
Renee
it didn't
Good.
HQ.
Oh, wait a minute, but Renee Good, they knew Renee Good was not a terrorist, and they knew Alex Preddy for sure was a veteran, and they knew he wasn't a predator. That is what turned the tide for this country and said, "Oh hell no." I know y'all
So
ain't got y'all's ass talking about
so
Preddy
so
and Good.
so this is what I want you to understand, right? And I know you don't like it, right? But there are also men in this country, HQ. I know you don't really care what or how we think, HQ, but you have men in this country that don't like people like that, HQ.
Oh,
You
nobody
have
care about that, Black America. Nobody is
that.
running on that now. They're not running on that now. They're running on the horrific actions of this president. That is what is making him lose and the Republicans lose across the country. I know you haven't been watching it. I know you haven't
I
been
have
watching the news
HQ,
because
HQ.
you bring up
I'm
the same issue, and I never hear this issue from any of those bro people. I never hear any issue
what
like
bro people? What
bro
bro
Joe
people?
Rogan. I listen to Joe Rogan. I listen to Ben
Once
Shapiro.
again,
I listen to
you're
Owen. I
listening.
listen to all of them.
You're hold on, HQ. You are listening to.
What?
This is what I want you to understand. They don't vote for the same people that we vote for. Will
Yes,
you
they
agree
do.
with me on that? No,
Yes, they do.
they wouldn't vote for Joe Biden. Would Ben Shapiro vote for Joe Biden? Would Joe Rogan vote for Joe
No,
Biden?
no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying to
No,
you
listen.
is you keep telling me that these people are going to vote because of some gay shit. I'm telling you, these Republican bros are telling their people that are in their audience that Donald Trump is crazy and anything he got going on
Yes,
is horrific. So therefore,
yes,
they have turned and they are the ones who helped engineer all of these new people into voting for Donald Trump. Now,
yes.
all of these new people who saw
Uh
Donald
huh.
Trump wanted to vote for him, now they're looking at Donald Trump like, oh hell no, we fucked up. You can
Right.
only go,
But
you can go to X, you can go to the Hispanic websites. I go to the Hispanic
HQ,
website. All of them say they are not voting for Donald Trump again.
HQ,
Anything to do with
Donald
his,
Trump,
anything to do with his,
Donald Trump, Donald Trump is no longer on the ticket. He
yeah,
can't
but
run again. He
yes,
can't run again, HQ. And
yes.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, even Candace Owens,
Mm-hmm.
all of these right wingers that you're talking about, none
Mm-hmm.
of these people would vote for the same people that me and you would vote for. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, but they also know that if they vote for
Hold
Republicans in November, that
hold on.
we're going to have the same horrific results that we're having right now, and they're not going to
Okay,
do that.
so now, so now, us as people, us Democrats,
Mhm.
what if we once again don't go to the polls again and vote, just like we didn't for Kamala?
We didn't for Kamala. Why do you think they didn't for Kamala? We gave you the 4 reasons, and I just told you those
Well,
4 reasons. Those 4 reasons are not even
yes,
available now.
yes. What if it? I want
Those
Gavin
four,
Newsom, right?
those 4 reasons are not even available now. So that's immaterial.
HQ,
Those four
as,
reasons.
as I promise you, we're
Because
gonna
you
have
said
this discussion.
it yourself. You said that Donald Trump is not on the ballot. So
Yes,
everybody is voting for their individual people in their individual states. And as
right,
long as those people and
right.
as long as those people are individual people, they're going to vote who's going to be the best candidate for them. And Tallarico is leading because they don't give a damn about gay issues.
Yes. Okay. Well, you know what? In November, after the elections,
They
I'm
gonna
telling
impeach
you right.
Donald Trump. He
I'm
gonna get
I'm I'm
impeached.
I'm telling you right now. In November, we're going to come back and revisit this because I think you're going to be very shocked and hurt and surprised on because you still have to realize, especially with white people,
What?
men are 50% of the population, and white women. I don't know if you know this or not, but white women, they vote with their men. Do you
Yes,
know that?
yes. And you
Yes.
see,
So so
let's take that into account. Let's take it in. I believe you. I believe
okay,
you. If I
good,
believe all that you say, if this was a
good.
normal election, if this was a normal election, I would
Uh
believe
huh.
everything you would say. But this is not a normal election. This is people seeing the horrific events that have come out of this White House, and they are completely rejecting it.
Let me ask you,
I would
HQ,
believe you.
how many men have you talked to about this though, HQ? Like honestly, how many
No,
men
I
have
just
you
listened
talked
to
to?
the Joe. I just listened to the Joe Rogan podcast, and when
Okay,
he has people call in, and he talks, and he influences his people. He's talked to many people that said made a mistake in their vote. They can't let the Republican. And on top of it, do you listen to Nick Fuentes? Have you heard him?
N-
He got
no, I don't.
people. He's got millions of people that he influenced to stay at home this
Do
November. Millions,
let me ask you something, HQ. Do older people vote or do younger people vote?
older and younger.
No, no.
This
Who
time,
votes?
I
Who
believe
vote? Who
it's
votes the
going to be
most?
older and younger. I
No.
believe it's going
Who
to be both.
votes? Who votes consistently the most?
Yes, in the presidential election, older people. Yes,
Older people. HQ. Who? So
yes.
it's not just it's in the midterms also. HQ. You are really not looking at the analytics of who's actually
Well,
doing this and putting
I
this
want
stuff
to
together.
know. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think. I want to know why you think that the people who do polling, the people who do all this kind of polling, the people who do all this prediction, I want to know why you think you would be right as opposed to all of these Fox News. Why would you be right against Fox News?
Because they are polling a certain um we'll say it like this, right? So you have CNN, right?
Mhm.
CNN doesn't allow straight men on the panel, right? are very few of them. Like they won't let them have a show, right? You guys are not listening to half of the population. So the people that they're
Those are the
polling
men.
at the place.
Those are the people that more than likely won't even vote.
I'm a
These young
man,
men,
HQ. I vote.
these young men are primarily the ones that probably won't even vote.
HQ. I'm a
I know
man.
women not gonna vote.
Who?
Women.
You say they are going to vote or not going to
I said I believe if nobody votes, it'll probably be the men, but it definitely won't be the women. The women won't sit at home today. Not
vote?
if that
So
not if that 10
so
million people at that No King rally is any indication. They ain't sitting at
so
home.
okay. Now let's go with the No Kings rally. Right? I
Yeah,
watched a lot of coverage of that. You know
yeah.
what we didn't see at the No Kings rally, HQ?
Ooh.
We didn't see any black people, and
Because
this is
black
what I'm
people
telling
stayed
you.
at home. We all got
Yeah,
the message. Did you get the
and
message?
that's
Because the message
and
that
and
we gave all black people is we sitting this shit out because y'all
ex-
voted Donald Trump in.
no. What I'm telling you is black people are not going to go out in November either. The
Yes, they are.
Democrat needs
Yes, they
the
are.
the
They
the
definitely gonna go
Democrat
out in November.
needs the black vote.
They're going to go out in
The,
November to make sure that Donald Trump gets impeached.
does the
You can
Democrat need the
ask
black vote, HQ?
you can do any kind. You can go into any chat you want to, and I
Uh-huh.
guarantee you, the black women are gonna tell you they gonna come out and vote because now they not gonna
You
stay on the
you
porch.
you just said the black women. I
Yeah,
agree with you. I am not talking about women, HQ. That's what I'm saying.
I'm,
You are
you arguing against. You're arguing against ratio. You're arguing against the math. Math. Black America. You're arguing against math. I'm arguing the math. You're arguing against the math. You haven't given
right.
me any kind of proof that says your direction is correct. I can point to the guy on the screen right now who does
Uh-huh.
polling, who does thousands of calls every week to black, white, Hispanic people, and he has the numbers and he says
Okay.
the numbers. So I tend to believe him, and I really tend to believe the really geeky people. I'm
Okay.
saying to you, I have the numbers behind me that says that the Republicans are going to lose the House and they may lose the Senate. I have the numbers behind me behind 10 different posters. What numbers do you have behind you? What person do you have behind you that says that they're not going to lose the House, that they're not going to make
So this is so once again, I know you don't really care what black men think, but you don't have the ear or the understanding of what is going on in the black male community. You need to talk to more black men,
mm-hmm,
right? And
mm-hmm.
listen to what they are saying because they are not voting for the Democrats anymore. And I'm not talking about a Van Jones, right? I'm not talking about a Van Jones or a Don Lemon, somebody that we as men would think is suspect,
Wait a
right?
minute.
I'm talking
Are you saying to me that black men are not voting for Democrats because we support gay rights? That what you trying to tell me?
HQ, you need to
Why
look at
not answer the
you
question?
you need to
Are you telling me that the black men in this country are not going to vote for the Democrats because we support gay people's rights?
I'm not going to say it's 100% HQ, but I'm going to say the majority, yes.
The majority of men are not going to vote for the Democrats because we support gay people having rights.
I'm going to say the majority of men, yes.
Well,
And like I said,
can't
and
argue
like I
with
said,
you about that. I
like I
can't
said,
argue with you.
I know you don't care because it's just men and the women is going to come out and
Well,
stuff like that.
it's not a matter of not caring. It's a matter of you're pigeonholing men into one issue. You only care about whether we care about the gay people. So if we care about the gay people, You don't care about nothing at all that happens in the country. You don't care about gay people. So everything this president has done, all the things that he rolled back privileges and things that were related to black people. You don't care about that. You care about whether we care about gay people.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey,
You don't care
HQ.
about none of the
Hey,
things that got rolled back for black people.
hold on, HQ. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Have you lost any rights? Can you not drive on Monday, Wednesdays, or Fridays now? Can you not go to the store anytime you feel like it? We as black men, we don't care
What?
about the same things that you care about. And that's all I'm telling
That's what
you.
I said. I just said that. I said you don't care about anything that this administration has rolled back as far as black people's rights, as far as the Civil Rights Act, as far as taking things out of the museum, as far as taking things out of the
No,
White House. You don't care about any of that. You care
no,
about
us as a
whether
whole.
we care about we care about gay people. You care more about that than you do about the rights that people are losing because of this presidency. That's
What
what you're doing.
rights have people lost?
It's too many. It's too many. I can't even. It's too many. I can't. I can't.
Yeah, I'm just saying, what can't we do now that we could do 2 years ago?
I can't.
Because I still go on vacation. I seen your
So
little post say I seen your post a couple of weeks ago talking about you jumped out of a plane or some crazy shit. Like people are not stopping. People HQ.
yeah.
People are not stopping living. If I was on the strip right now, HQ, you wouldn't believe. Las Vegas Strip is packed right now. It
So
is
what if
Wednesday.
so what if they
It's
decided that they were going to attack the United States, like sending a bomb over this way, or sending a test bomb over this way, or start attacking more and more? So what about getting removed? What about the black folks that got removed from the promotion list in the military? What about those things? You don't
you know
care about
what?
those things?
You know what? You know what I'm going to say, and I'm going to be 100% honest to you. One of my club brothers, my motorcycle club brothers, HQ, he just got promoted to general in Oklahoma, HQ. So whatever happened with those other black people, and that was Air Force, okay? It's not too many black generals in the Air Force. So whatever happened to those people,
Yeah, but you don't care
sometimes,
about them getting rid of birthright
no.
citizenship if that
Okay,
affects even black people. I mean, I
I
don't
do
understand
care.
what do you
I
care. I don't understand.
I do care.
No.
Listen, I
I
do.
get that you care, but you care more about us caring about gay people than you care about the other thing. Everything else, fighting with the
So
Pope, fighting with the
yeah,
Pope,
I don't
going
care
to
about the
war.
Pope.
You don't care about none of that, but you care
No,
only about us caring about gay people.
HQ. You
I
were
don't know. I'm
married.
trying to
Hold
figure
on,
out what you care about. The only thing
hold on,
you seem to care about
hold
is
on.
whether
You
we
was
care about
married.
gay people or not.
HQ. Listen, you were married for a long time. You know, us as men have a single track mind. Can you agree with me on that?
Yeah.
So HQ, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Us men have a single track mind. We don't care about all of that other stuff. We only care about certain things. Let me tell you, the birthright citizenship, I told you months ago. My
Mhm.
brother has a girlfriend who was illegal, but she had a baby by a dude over here. Should her child be an American citizen? That's what we're talking about when we say birthright citizenship. We don't feel that her anchor baby should be a citizen. We
Yeah, but
feel like,
you can feel how you want to feel, but it's a part of the Constitution. It's a part of
yes,
our You can if the Constitution,
it's a
if
part of the
our
Constitution for Black people,
if
not
our
Mexicans.
yeah, but if our Constitution is it can be changed from the Constitution can just be put into words however you want it to be put into. You don't like birthright citizenship, so we just change our Constitution any old way we want to whenever we willy-nilly, like the president seems to do. Then what's the point in having a Constitution if we can just?
It's not going to change. It's not going to change. HQ. What was the 14th Amendment for the
Did you?
children of slave? Hold on. Was the 14th Amendment for
Mhm.
the children of freed slaves?
And then,
No,
and
not
then,
knowing then,
and
because
then
the
it
Constitution does.
was.
Because the Constitution doesn't say and then. It
And
says
no,
for
and
the
then it
free.
was. Then it was challenged a while a while back. I'm not sure. A part of it was challenged. Some was challenged, and they upheld that. They upheld the 14th. Did you see? Did you listen to the argument against birthright citizenship about 2 or 3 weeks ago? Did you watch that?
I watched part of it. Yeah.
Okay. They were asking him questions like, "Why are you up here asking us these goofy ass questions?" That's a part of the Constitution. They're not going to
Well,
change birthright citizenship. You could tell from the way they
I
were talking
understand.
that they're not going to
I,
change
I,
that.
you know what, HQ? I understand and I agree with it. But but see, the problem is, it's kind of like you're saying, oh, we have a problem with Iran. The problem is, we don't want to kick all of these parents out of the country and then
Dude,
have a bunch of orphans
you know what a
and
hell
have a,
would be? You know, do you
huh?
understand how much? Do you understand how much of that would be a terrifying prospect? That would be a fucked up thing. We can't afford to do
Why?
that.
To
They're not going to
who?
change that.
To who?
The legit. Wait a minute. Do you remember when the Supreme Court told Donald Trump that his tariffs were illegal? And then they said,
Yes.
how the hell you gonna pay all of that back? We done got all this money. Same thing with the birthright citizenship. Ain't no way they gonna turn that into that kind of nightmare. They're not gonna do it.
HQ. I would love to keep birthright citizenship, but you know what I want? I want them to kick all of the illegal parents out the country. And I want them to turn their kids that are in this country into our military and our IT people, and we raise them as Americans. That's
Wait
what I want.
a minute. Did you? I just realized what you said. Did you just say kick the parents out and keep the kids?
If the kids are American, the kids got to stay, right?
Right?
Because the kids are American. I agree with that. But
Yeah, but
I want them in this country. I don't want no little Mexico. I don't want no little Haiti. I don't want no little Italy. We don't have no little black community place.
I
You see
don't.
what I mean? And,
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but
and I know
no, very seriously, that would be a fucking nightmare, man.
exactly. And that's the problem. That's the reason why people voted for Trump, right? I don't like that he got in, but we went too far in the wrong direction, and it gave everybody such a bad taste. And then on top of it, it has
Wait,
now gave
did we really get a bad taste, or did y'all know what it tasted like only until Trump said what it tasted like? Because
HQ,
we didn't have this conversation. We wasn't having this bad conversation when Obama was president. He was
HQ,
deporting people.
you weren't speaking to men then. I'm just going to be honest with you. You weren't speaking to men, and Obama didn't deport people like Trump. He when people got to the border, they processed them and then kicked them back out into Mexico, and we called that deportation. Now it was too many people that came over. Once
Yeah,
again,
but
HQ,
how many people do y'all think is here? It ain't nothing but a little less than 15 million people. It ain't no more than that. It ain't no whole bunch of people in here that are illegals.
let me ask you something. How many people do you think is in California, HQ, population wise?
I don't know, 9 million.
39 million are in people are in the state of California, HQ. You don't,
I don't
and
know.
these people, and undocumented means illegal, undocumented, illegal people. It means you don't know how many people are there
So
between
why not make
California,
them legal?
because we don't want them to be. I don't.
Why?
Where do you live at?
I'm in Georgia.
You in Georgia? Okay,
Mhm.
it's too many niggas in Georgia. It's
Yeah.
places. It's places in LA where you could drive for 5 or 10 minutes and all the signs are in Spanish. You can't read shit.
Mm, mm. Okay.
You see what I mean? So
Yeah, but
you're
why?
not
Why not
exposed
make
to.
them?
You're
Why
not
not make them legal? What's wrong with making them legal?
because they're not American and they don't uphold American values. We have American values. And I know you saying, well, it would be boring just to have a bunch of black people or a bunch of white people, and I want flavor. I'm a man. I want my shit boring. You don't like waking up and seeing Trump shit every day. You want a boring president. And you can't deny that.
We
You
want a boring,
you
yes, we want a boring president, which means we
exactly,
don't want
and
this
I want a
president.
I want a boring country where everybody fucking speaks English. You see
Yeah,
what
but
I mean? That's what I'm
this is
telling you.
not what our
We
country
care
was.
about different shit.
But our country wasn't based on just everybody speaking English. Our country was based on the diversity that we have from people who could come here and make this a great country with all of this melting pot. Our
That's
country
not
was
true,
based on
HQ.
this.
What did they do to the original people that was here? You ever heard of the Trail of Tears in the 1800s? Do you know what that was?
Mm-mm.
What did they do to the Native Americans where they marched their ass across the country and gave them blankets with smallpox on
Smallpox on it, yeah.
it? So no, HQ, this is not what this country has ever been about. Is
This
diversity
country,
and
this
shit like
country,
that.
this country was not based on just white Christian, no Protestant, white
I,
Protestant.
I,
This
I
country was based on the diversity where people came and we assimilated and we made a melting pot here in the United States. This is
exactly. So
the
now
only
so now
reason
look at
why
the
we
word you just said, assimilate. Look at
yes.
the word you just said,
But there's a
assimilate.
lot of people that
These
assimilate.
people, these people aren't assimilating.
What do you mean they're
These
not
people,
assimilating? They here and they work and they are law abiding just like everybody else.
they're not assimilating. Well, then why aren't they speaking English? Then why are the signs in Spanish? Then why are we having polka music playing around? You are in a very black place,
Yeah, but
and
that
I
but
dig it.
I'm black, but that don't mean I uphold white Christian
do
white
do you guys even have Mexicans? You know what? I didn't even see any Mexican people at the airport when I was there a couple of weeks ago. Like everybody there was black. In the
everybody.
whole it
It was a shock when I moved here because I'm used to being in a crowd where I'm like I'm used to being in a state where I'm like the 8% black people. When I came down here, it was like it was a shock because I wasn't used to seeing this many black people. Really, really
right.
shocked.
And that's what I'm telling you. I travel all over the country. I'm going to we have a bike rally up in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the what was that thing up in Tulsa, Oklahoma? Black Wall Street
Yeah.
in about 25 days. I'm gonna be going up to Tulsa, Oklahoma for a black biker rally.
Oh, okay.
You like I say, you stay in one place or you're not moving around the country like I am and talking to as many men or black men as I am.
So you mean
Black women
I
and,
think
and
I
black
think
people.
these people have got I think these people have gotten I think a lot of people have gotten a message about this president. I think people have gotten a message about what direction they
HQ.
really, really, really want to go in. because I think
What I'm
people got
telling you
turned
is we
off.
don't care. Because none of our lives have changed. None of our
Ain't nothing changed. What do you mean ain't nothing changed? There's millions of things that have changed since this president became president. This president has
no.
gotten in office. There's a lot
What
of things
what I'm
that get to the negative.
what I'm saying is all of us regular, upstanding. I don't worry about homeless people. You know why? Because homeless people don't have a voice anymore. So fuck the homeless people. I've never seen. I've been voting for 40 years, and I've never seen a homeless person at the polls. Have you? Like, keep it honest.
No, no.
Have you ever? So then fuck those homeless people. They don't have a voice, right? You guys want to keep acting. I'm not on the soup line. You're at home. You got a YouTube channel. You're not on the soup line. You got lights and everything else on. Nothing has changed, HQ. I understand the fear, right? Because you're a woman. What if
Wait a
people
minute,
send
you
a
said
bomb over
something about the fear. You said something about the fear when it came to the Strait of Hormuz. Why do you think the
here?
president is? Why do you think we're not losing over there when we are losing? Why do you think we're not losing?
Well, because once again, you've never been in the military, you've never been in war, and like I said, you probably never even been in a real fight. Okay, what you do is you wear somebody out. The blockade, I said, the blockade is going to be worse. You know why? Because when you block somebody in, we blocked some people in before. All you got to do is block them in for a week or 2 weeks. They run out of food, they run out of water, and then the people have to start cannibalizing each other. HQ, that makes it worse because that means the people who are weak in the country, that means those are the people that are going to get preyed upon first. You see what I mean? By
Mhm.
their own people. That
But see,
blockading is the worst thing that you could ever do, and that's
yeah,
why I
but
was telling you.
China is getting through with their China. Hormuz is letting. I mean, Iran is letting China come through, and the United States cannot block China either. This is a it's a futile thing for them to. It's a futile thing for them to try to block those. Why would the United States? Why is the United States blocking the Strait of Hormuz? Why are they trying to block it? Why?
They're not trying to block it. They did block it. So
So,
this
so
is
why,
what's going
why
to happen.
I'm saying
So
why
this
are
is
they
what's going to
trying
happen in the next 3 days.
to?
So this is what's going to happen in the next 3 days. Mark my word. We talked about the blockade like last week, you and I,
Right.
right?
Right.
This is what's going to happen in the next 3 days. You're going to start seeing because the blockade started Monday or Sunday. What
Sunday,
day did the?
Monday or Sunday, Monday or Sunday.
Okay, so within the next 7 days, Iran is going to start running out of everything. And then they're not going to have any income. The people that they're trading with, you think that America's not letting any tankers through right now. Once again, I have four kids in the military, HQ. Believe what I say. They're not letting any tankers in. Okay. So if they want to come around from the other side, good luck. So they're going to start running out of all the essentials that they need. You know why? Because it's a shithole country and it doesn't have anything, right? So they're
You
going to
know
start
they, but
running
you
out.
know that the blockade, but you know that the blockade is against the law, though, right? You know that's
It don't
against the law.
matter. It's international waters. Nothing is illegal in international waters. You can
I
kill all the people. You can.
differ.
eh, yes, once again, you think so, but
Blockading an
that's
international waterway is illegal under
it's
maritime law.
nothing wrong with it. That's why we take people to Guantanamo Bay so that we can hook up pliers to their nuts with electrodes to them and electrify them. That's why we do that in an international place where there are no laws. You see what I mean? You take it offshore into international waters and you can do whatever the fuck you want to do with it.
So, what do you think Iran is going to do?
They're going to start starving. You're gonna have famine. You're gonna have people feasting on each other. cannibalizing each other. So in the next 7 to 10 days, they're going to have to come up with something different because it's not going to be enough people. It's not going to be enough people to keep up their you know, like today I seen they had their speeder boats out there. Those they're going to be too tired to do anything. Their rations are going to it's going to they're going to start sending. So America, let me see, America
So
and who
so
else?
so
And Europe are going to have to start.
Iran has threatened to block stuff in the Red Sea and the Persian
Right.
Gulf.
That's on
So
the backside. Right.
so what are they gonna do about that? What is the Americans
It,
gonna do about that?
it doesn't. HQ. We don't import anything from over there.
Yeah, but
We
that
don't. We don't.
oil is global pricing. That's set by the oil industry. That has nothing to do with American. American can block all they want to. They don't have nothing to do with the pricing.
Right. But what I'm trying to, and HQ, you do know I'm in the gas and oil industry, right? I told you that before, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
HQ, the prices are all inflated. Right now, the refineries are going full bore. The refinery in Colorado, they want us to drive to Colorado to pick up fuel. You know why? Because gas is 25 cents a gallon that comes out of Colorado, coming down out of North and South Dakota from the pipeline.
Mm-hmm. I don't
It's
see no good. I don't see no good coming out of this blockade.
I,
Not
I, I wish I wish I could take a. I wish I could send you. I knew how to send you a picture. I took pictures every week of how much because I'm on the diesel side, right?
mm-hmm.
I took
Mm-hmm.
pictures every week. Um, Diesel got up to $8.25 a gallon in California, HQ.
It's
But
gonna get
now
higher now.
it
It's gonna
no,
get higher.
it's coming down right now. It's
Oh
coming down
hell
right
no! It ain't coming down not
now.
at all. That shit is gonna continue to rise because they doing
HQ.
this blockades. And if Iran decide that they're gonna block the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf, the gas is gonna skyrocket.
HQ.
That's another.
I
That's
drive
another 20.
I
But that's
drive
another
trucks every
20,
day.
or that's
I,
another 12 to 15% of the world's oil. If they block the Red Sea, that's 15% of the oil too. On top of the 20% from the Strait of Hormuz. Oh hell yeah, oil is gonna skyrocket.
no, what I'm telling you is it's even from last week, it has already came down like 50, 60 cents from last week.
I don't pay attention to gas,
I,
so I
I
don't know.
I do because it's my industry. So I do pay attention to it.
Mm.
Right? I pay attention to the prices and hell, I do 600 miles every day uh dealing with gas and oil
Mm.
and diesel every
Okay,
day.
I want to hear about any changes in oil or gas. If you see any kind of changes in oil or gas out there,
I,
from
I,
day to day or whatever. Do
I,
you
I
have like
wish I could send you I wish I knew how to send. Can I send you a picture
I
on
don't
this
know how to do that
message?
at all. I don't even know how to do that.
You
I
said,
don't know how
well,
to do it at all. For somebody
that's
else
because
to do.
that's because we old and we don't know this technology
You know
and
I don't
shit.
know how to do that. You better
You
bring
see,
some shit up here. You know I don't know how to do that. Don't do that. Because I wouldn't even begin to know how to put shit on the screen like that. Them young people know how to do that shit. But no, I
yeah.
want to know. I want to know what the pricing is looking like once they decide to do. See, we got the blockade now. They put the blockade in place. They put in place. See what the gas
Hmm.
prices are. See what the gas prices are this weekend compared to now. Let's see what they do. What
Yeah.
any kind of
Well,
changes in the
well,
gas
well,
prices?
well, I'm telling you, it dropped. So if you know, or if anybody else watching, and I know people don't watch you as much anymore because you going so hard on this politics stuff.
No,
People,
it's not a matter of that. It's a matter of me getting shadow banned. They hit my channel with what the hell? What the hell was those things? Those committee meetings. They hit my channel with the committee meetings. So once
what you
they hit
mean?
my channel, the
What do you mean committee
meeting, the Hillary Clinton meeting, the Hillary Clinton testimony, the committee meetings. The committee meeting thing.
HQ,
Yeah.
HQ. I still get notifications.
Yeah.
So
They
whatever
know
you think is not true.
Yeah. No. Oh hell yeah. They told me. I asked them. That's why.
You told
Once
who told you?
once they look at your channel and they see what kind of
Uh-huh.
content you're doing, they will automatically take you down from sending notifications out to the people. So they went from sending out $3,000 to sending out 200 notifications.
$3,000?
Yeah. They went
Golly.
down from sending $3,000 notifications out to like 200 on my channel.
So they won't send. So they not sending. So they not sending them out. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, they not sending out $3,000 no more, not like they were.
Yeah. So like I said,
I had to get back to where they trust me enough to put $3,000 on the table. That's easy. I'm busy as hell anyway. I'm real busy. So
once again, though, with this politics, like I said, I know, and once again, you're doing all of this politics stuff. You can't, and you.
no,
and,
it ain't
and that's
got nothing to do with what I'm doing. It ain't got nothing to do with what I'm doing.
You don't think so? Well, if that was the case, then why did
I told you I already talked to them. I already texted them and asked them what was going on. They told me exactly what to look at, and this is why we doing X, Y, and Z.
Okay. I never heard of that. Huh?
Oh yeah, they'll tell you. They'll tell you why you got you. Why do you think it was a sharp? Why do you think it was a sharp cutoff? It was a sharp cutoff because of certain things, and they felt like X, Y, and Z. So it is anyway. They felt like X, Y, and Z. So they were like, no, we want just your original content. We don't want you to do any kind of committees. We don't want you to do X, Y, and Z. So
and plus, and I wanted to tell you too, you need to talk more. Even if you are watching those videos, you need to talk or have commentary.
Right. That's why.
Right.
So now I don't do any more committees. So I'm doing live content. So I got to go back up. I got to do what I got to do to go back up to where I was. So this is where I'm at. Anyway.
So what they do? They cut you off to everybody but me.
You cut me off to less than 100 people. Yeah.
That's some bullshit. Yeah, but
look, I was getting like $2,000, $3,000 in my pay. They cut all of those. They cut all of it down from like $3,000 down to like 200. So
yeah, so I don't know.
That's what they do, but that's okay. Like I said, I've been busy.
I dropped the washer.
Anyway,
I dropped the washer.
Give me I will talk to you on a different day. So let me close this shit out because you got me doing a whole.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later.
Prices. All right.
Yeah. Find out about what?
Those prices. See, watch
the price. I already told you. I already did. I already looked at it.
I'm saying this weekend. I'm saying this weekend.
Okay. All right. Bye.
So anyway, guys, appreciate it. Anyway, this is where we at. The two stories that we had tonight. We had the president. They're filing the impeachment charges against the president. We got to restore accountability in our election process. The rules have got to be for everyone. They can't just be for one person, and it can't just be somebody who bullies over the rules. We need to put the country back under the Constitution And that needs to be our guide. Okay. That is what we have to do. So this is where we at. I will be back tomorrow evening, 10 o'clock, to talk to you about the subjects that happened during the day, to get some clarity about what the subjects are and what happened during the day. Please put a like, share, and a comment. I appreciate hitting a like or share, subbing to the channel. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. We coming from the bottom. Now we're gonna be up. Put a comment in the comment section, and I will see you guys tomorrow evening at 10 o'clock. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you.